Hallelujah. Are you excited about this fasting? We thank God for teaching us to have hunger to know new things. For the word of the Lord says, He says, forget about the former things. It means what you know is former. Are you seeing that? Yes. Whatever you know is former, according to God. But He says, behold, I'm doing a new thing now. God is doing a new thing now. He is not doing a new thing yesterday. Now. He says, though you do not perceive it. Are you seeing that? Yes. So I really thank God for granting us the grace to teach us more. And I'm really thankful to God. He's really teaching us, like, oh my God. All right, let me get to the message of today. Are you blessed? Are you blessed? Are you ready for the message of today now? Are you ready for the message of today? Yes, you must be hungry for God. Tell your neighbor, say you must be hungry for God. Don't be hungry for food. When you fast, the hunger you have when you are not fasting and the hunger you have while you are fasting, what's the difference between these hungers? When you are not fasting, you also hunger. When you are fasting, you experience hunger. But can you differentiate this kind of hungers? If you can't differentiate, it means you don't know what you are doing. There's a possibility that you might say you are fasting while you don't even know what fasting is. What you feel when you are fasting, you feel even when you are not fasting. If you are eating later. I didn't say in the evening. I said later. The moment you understand what I'm teaching, the moment you wake up, there are times where you wake up, you are already hungry. Doesn't matter whether it's 6 or 7, you're already hungry. Are you seeing that? It's a fast. That's why when you eat in the morning, the food that you are eating in the morning, it's called what? Break fast. You are breaking a fasting. Oh, I thought the fasting you only break it in the evening. No, even in the morning you can break a fast. So if you don't eat in the morning, it means you are not breaking the fasting. It means it's a continuous thing. Are you seeing it? When you don't eat in the morning, it means you are not breaking the fasting. You are continuing with fasting. Are you seeing that? Yes. Hunger would come. But when you know what you are doing, when in fasting you don't give your body, and it is your soul that is, the main concern that we must be concerned with is the soul. So much. Not the flesh. Isaiah 58, I don't know how many times we read it. He says, this is the kind of the fasting I have chosen, that you may remove the chains of sin, the burden of sin, and set free those who are under influence of the power of sin. Are you seeing that? So he says, this is the kind of the fasting I want. God says when you fast for the sake of the soul. It means the kind of the fasting that God wants is to break the chains that have bound or your soul to the world and have alienated you, separated you from your maker. Are you seeing that? God says when you fast, I want you to break these chains. He says this is the fasting. Okay, go there. Isaiah 58. I think we must read it. We are going to read it the whole month. You must just get used to it. But we are going to always read new things. Isaiah 58, start from verse 6. Use any translation. You can start with Amplified and go to CSV and then finish with New Living Translation.
Isaiah 58 verse 6.
Yes, listen.
Rather, is not this the fast that I have chosen?
Is not this the fast that I have chosen? Who is speaking here? This is God. He says, this is the fasting I chose. I chose you to fast. Because if God chose for us to fast, then it means we have to fast. That's why Matthew 6 verse 16 does not say if you fast. It says when you fast. It means it's a must. It's compulsory. If fasting was not compulsory, Matthew 6 verse 16, Jesus should have said, if you fast, do not be like the hypocrite. It means if you choose not to, but if you choose. But rather Jesus didn't say that. He says when you fast, so that a time must come when you are fasting. Are you seeing that? He says when you fast, it means the days are gonna come where you should fast. Are you seeing that, people of God? He says when you fast, do not be like the hypocrites. Because they like whatever they are doing, they like to do it so that people can see. He says they disfigure their faces so that men may see that they are fasting. But this is not the fasting that God chooses. It means God chooses fasting for us. Tell your neighbor, say we fast because God chooses for us to fast. Yes. God chooses us to fast. There was a time when the disciples of John came to Jesus. I think we will talk about it on Thursday. It's another thing, something different from what I'm going to teach about. But it's still a fasting. But it's going to take us somewhere if I talk about it. They said, why are we always fasting and your disciples are not fasting? Somebody says, you see, you can't have Jesus and fast. Are you seeing that? They were happy. Like some Christians today, they say, do you hear Jesus? When Jesus is there, you don't fast. Where is he? Can you see him? But Jesus answered the disciples and said, how can they fast when the groom is still with them? He says they can't fast if the groom is still with them. He says, but the time is coming when the groom shall be taken away from them. He says, then they shall fast. It means, you see, God wants us to fast. And he even chooses the kind of fasting he wants us to do. He even gives us the reason why we should fast. Are you seeing that? He says when the groom is taken away, they shall fast. They shall fast. He says then they shall fast. Where is Jesus? He's away. He went into the heaven. So if he went to heaven, it's time to fast. Because that's what he said according to the scriptures. He says when the groom is taken away from them, then they shall fast. Jesus is not here. He's in heaven. We are waiting for his coming, his return. You can't wait for someone who is already here. No, you are teaching wrong. Jesus is already here. Then why are we waiting for his coming if he's here? Why are we preaching about the second coming of Jesus if he's already here? Jesus is not here. He went away. John 16, he said, unless I go away. He says, unless I go away, you won't receive another counselor. He says the only way another counselor would come is when I go away. I must be taken away. Are you seeing that? So Jesus went away. He says, unless I go, the Holy Spirit won't come. But he says, when I go, I shall send him in my name. So Jesus is not here. And he told us that the moment he goes, it is time to fast. Man of God, how many times should we fast? How many times should a person fast? Fast as long as Jesus is not that big. You must. Let me tell you. It's not an issue of fasting in January only. Until you make fasting your lifestyle, you will be a Christian who is still an alien and a foreigner to the supernatural. You will operate under your senses instead of under your spiritual senses. When you do not fast, the senses of the flesh, our lower part of our body senses, will become more active than the senses of the spirit. Are you seeing it? Yes, I believe I'm laying a foundation today because I promised you that I'm going to teach you about why you dream what you dream when you are fasting. I didn't forget. It's a laying of foundation because God took me deeper. I want you to understand. God chooses for us to fast because when you know, rather let me say this, when you wait for the correct hunger, there is a certain hunger that opens the spiritual eyes. That's why I say, do you understand the hunger? Can you differentiate between the hunger you have when you are fasting and the hunger you have when you are fasting? If you can't differentiate, you won't see the impact of fasting in your life. There's a hunger that opens the realm of the spirit and makes it natural to you. There is a hunger that only hurts the stomach and causes the body to be dizzy. And there is a hunger that causes the spirit man to be empowered, that causes the spirit man to be equipped. So when you are fasting, can you differentiate the hunger that you have when you are fasting and when you are not fasting? I wish I was communicating here. Do you understand? If you can't differentiate the hunger you have, if you think the hunger you are having when you are fasting is for food, then you will desire to eat. That's why many break their fasting, because they don't understand the hunger they are having. When you fast and you don't understand the hunger of fasting, you will think the hunger you are feeling is for the sake of you eating. While the hunger you are having when you fast is not a hunger that says, I want food. It's a hunger that opens, breaks, and begins to cause an expansion, increases the capacity. So the more you fast and you feel hunger, don't think it is because you didn't eat. It is because you are fasting. When you fast, you must get hungry. If you don't get hungry, but the question is, hungry for what? Hungry for what? You see, you are the one who can even convert the hunger that was meant for the spiritual thing and convert it to the hunger for food through your mindset. Are you seeing it? You can change the hunger which is for the spiritual benefit and advantage by your own mind and meditation. Because the more, when you are fasting and you are meditating about food, what are you doing? You are converting and you are changing that hunger and you are making it to be of food. Are you seeing that? So when you fast, is somebody following here? When you fast, don't meditate about food. Don't desire to eat food. Because what are you doing? You are changing you are swapping you are substituting the hunger of fasting with the hunger for food. Are you following, people of God? You are substituting the hunger. Hunger must come. But which hunger comes? That's what matters. When you are fasting, which hunger are you experiencing? Because hunger must come. There is a kind of hunger that when you experience when you fast, it's a sign that a new page is open. It's a sign that something broke, capacity is increasing. Dimensions are opening. Doors are beginning to open. Are you hearing what I'm teaching about here? Be careful when you fast. Don't fast and think about food. When you fast and think about food, you are converting and substituting your hunger so that it becomes for the sake of what you didn't eat. Are you seeing that? But the moment you make peace in your heart, the moment you make peace in your heart that look, I'm fasting, when hunger comes, you will not treat it as the hunger for food. Treat it as the hunger that shall cause you to be filled. Because you cannot be filled unless you are hungry. God only fills those who are hungry. It means there's a certain hunger that when God looks, He knows that this one does not need bread. He does not need beggar. He needs me to fill him. Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? It is a blessing to hunger. When your hunger is not for food. When heaven looks at you and you are hungry and it's not for food, they say this one is blessed. They say all men should envy this guy, this woman, this lady. Leave it there. Where are we now? Leave Isaiah 58. Let us go to let me show you this. Go to Matthew 5. Let us take Matthew 5. Matthew 5. Matthew chapter number 5. Read verse number 6. Read.
Matthew 5 verse 6. Blessed and fortunate and happy and spiritually prosperous.
And spiritually what?
Prosperous.
Listen to that. And spiritually what? And spiritually what?
Miss. Blessed and fortunate and happy and spiritually prosperous in that state in which the born again child of God enjoys his favor and salvation are those who hunger.
Are those who do what? Are you hearing this? Are those who hunger? He says they are blessed when they are hungering. When they are hungry, they are blessed. Because what are they hungry for? Read there.
Blessed and fortunate and happy and spiritually prosperous in that state in which the born again child of God enjoys his favor and salvation are those who hunger.
Are those who hunger
and thirst for righteousness.
And thirst for what? Is it a hunger for what? For food? But he's calling it hunger. You can say, no, Jesus was talking about spiritual hunger. Where have you ever heard about spiritual hunger? The Bible, Jesus didn't say, blessed are those who have spiritual hunger. He said, those who hunger. Hunger is hunger. Hunger is hunger. He didn't say spiritual hunger. He didn't say hunger in other dimensions. Blessed are those who hunger. Hunger shall come. It means he was not talking to. It means he talks to people who know how to set aside food, not for the sake of anything. Not for the sake of breakthrough, not for the sake of healing, but for the sake, because when righteousness is mentioned, right standing is revealed. It means blessed are those who hunger to be in right standing with God, to be in the state of favor, to be in a state where spiritually they are prospering. Are you seeing that, people of God? To be in a state where spiritually they are prospering. So you must be able to differentiate the hunger you're having. When you fast, hunger will come. But which kind of hunger is coming? Don't misinterpret that hunger for food, because then you will go and break your fasting. But when that hunger comes, begin to say, Father, thank you that now you are going to fill me without choice. You are going to fill me without me asking you to. Come on, somebody. When that hunger comes, begin to lift up your hands and say, Father, I thank you, because I don't need to pray for you to fill me. Because when I'm hungry, you are going to fill me. I don't need to ask you to fill me. You said those who are hungry. And I'm feeling hunger now. And I know this hunger is not for food, because I'm already fasting. When hunger comes, Father, I thank you, because you are going to fill me. I qualify to be filled. Are you seeing it? There is a sign in the realm of the spirit that shows that there is an indication in the realms of the spirit that shows that I'm on the queue among those who are going to be filled. I'm on the queue. Are you seeing this? Among those who are going to be filled by God. Know how to differentiate the hunger. When you are fasting from their hunger, when you are not fasting. Don't convert it to a natural hunger while it's a spiritual hunger. Can you repeat that? Take it, verse number 6.
Verse 6. Blessed and fortunate and happy and spiritually prosperous.
Yes.
In that state in which the born again child of God enjoys his favor and salvation. Are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness.
Are those who hunger. And they also say, when you are fasting, are you not? Don't you feel thirsty? Don't you thirst when you're fasting? That's why some they don't know this test. When they thirst, they take water and drink. They are substituting the thirst. The thirst is now substituted. It's quite people they are starting to say, eh? Because you don't understand. If you don't understand the hunger, you can't even understand the thirst. That's why there are those who, when they feel hunger, they break the fasting and eat, because they don't understand what's happening to them. There are those when they are thirsty, they take water and drink, because they don't understand what is that thirst. It's not for water. If your thirst can be for water, it means also your hunger is for food. Then it's not soul fasting you're doing. You are doing a carnal, a fasting of men. If you thirst and drink water, when you hunger, you must add as well into food. If you quench the thirst, also quench the hunger. It's quiet now. Because some folks have already long time broken their fasting. I mean, they've been breaking their fasting every day. Now it's the 9th day we are fasting. They've been breaking their fasting for the past 9 days. Jesus didn't say, blessed are those who hunger only. He says, hunger must go hand in hand with thirst. If he does not have thirst, then it's not hunger. If the hunger does not go with thirst, then it's not hunger. It's not hunger. It's a diet. When you are hungry, you also must be thirsty. If you quench the thirst, go ahead and also quench the hunger. Don't only quench the thirst. Do you think when Jesus was on the cross and said, I thirst, was he thirsting for water? Remember, he was arrested when? Yesterday night. What time was he crucified? Even they don't know. The Bible tells us the time he was crucified. He was crucified by 3, which the Bible calls it the 9th hour. When you hear the Bible says the 9th hour, don't think about 9 in the morning. It's not 9. It's 3 p.m. By 3 p.m., Jesus gave up the ghost. And it became dark. So dark. When they checked the time, it was 3. If it was dark at night, they would not see anything. Why did people run away? Why did people run away? Immediately when he died, dark, the Bible said the whole place became dark and it started to shake. Everybody ran away, flee. And one man left. One soldier was left and he knelt before the cross and said, truly, this man was the Son of God. Are you seeing that? So when Jesus says, I thirst, it was not for water. He was already hungry because they never gave her food, because they arrested her last night and they were questioning her throughout the day until they even took him. Do you think he had time to eat? Using which he comes to swallow, because he was beaten everywhere. To perfect the hunger, he had to say, I thirst. To perfect what? The hunger. Because blessed are those who hunger and thirst, they shall be filled. So he had to say it. I thirst. They took a sponge and they put it in vinegar. They gave him. When he drank, he didn't finish. He didn't suck the whole sponge. When he tested it, he said, into your hands I commit my spirit. Understanding the hunger you are having. I believe this is going to be a year where we're going to fast now. These teachings, all these teachings, you must get them. Every time you are going to fast alone, get these teachings, go and listen to them again. Are you seeing that? There's no way you can do a true fasting and you don't see signs, encounters. I mean, something is wrong. Something is wrong if you are fasting, no encounter. Something is wrong. You are doing a fasting that is incomplete. It's either it's a fasting that is without thirst. It's a fasting that is not for the soul. If God says, John chapter 2, verse 12, He says, continue to come to me with weeping and fasting. He says, until the broken fellowship the broken fellowship can be restored. So when the fellowship is broken, can you continue not to experience God? There has to be a sign that the fellowship now is restored. Encounter. Visions. Trance. They have to come to show that the fellowship is restored. Are you seeing that? If they are not coming, it means fellowship is not restored. It's not yet restored. Because there's no child of God who God does not talk to. There's no child of God that God is not interested in talking with. There's no child of God that God says, this one, I don't care if he hears me or not. God speaks to every one of his children. Are you seeing that? But when the fellowship is broken, then you will not hear him. How can you hear when the fellowship is broken? But the minute the fellowship is restored, a sign to show it's restored, a dialogue is continuing to happen. It is not just you praying without him talking. He also has his chance to reply. Are you seeing that? He also has what? His chance to reply. Yes. If God was visiting Adam and Eve every day in the Garden of Eden, what makes you to think that God doesn't want to talk to you every day? If he visited them every day, the Bible says, in the cool of the day, they would hear the footsteps of God walking in the garden. Why is he coming? He's coming to talk to them. Are you seeing that? He's coming for the sake of talking to them. You need to really learn how to fast. Once you can do the right fasting, you can never depart from fasting. Because it gives an advantage to the spirit. But the reason why people don't like fasting is because they don't know how to even fast right. That's why they are not filled. I can tell you, in all the world, every ministry that you see that is growing and is experiencing the supernatural is because of their fast. It's because they know how to fast. There's no child of God who can participate in the supernatural if he does not know how to live a life of fasting. Without fasting, you can't hear God. Without fasting, your dreams will always be open to the world, the flesh, and not be open towards the heavens. Because there are things which are attached to the soul. I want you to get me. There is no way you can walk in the jungle and the time you come out of the jungle to the tar road and don't find some things attached to your trousers, to your shirts. You will find some things. So also when you walk in this world, the more you go for a month without fasting, when month ends, when you check your soul, you will find there are things which are already attached to the soul. And if you don't learn to fast and break and continue to, that's why we have to live a continuous fasted life. Are you seeing that? Yes. Because there are things that get attached to our soul. You see, it's January right now. Your focus is straight with God. The moment it's March, you become distracted. Somebody is distracted by marriage. The other one is distracted by a job. The other one wants financial breakthrough. Because financial breakthrough is not coming, he is now led astray. He's led astray by the desire of financial breakthrough. He's led astray by the desire of marriage. Led astray by the desire of a job. Are you seeing this? Because why? The moment you desire something, it grows. Because when you desire, you also meditate. And when you meditate, you are feeding your soul. And the problem with the soul is this. Once the soul desires something, you will become uncontrollable towards what the soul is desiring. That's what will cause you to end up becoming angry with God. No longer even feeling to go to church. No longer even feeling to go for prayer. What's happening? The soul. The desire of the soul has increased so much. It has become so strong. Stronger than the desire for God. Then it can start to dictate to you when to go to church, when to pray, when to study the word. Are you seeing that? The problem is distraction. The devil knows that if he can just leave you to continue the whole year like this, before you even reach September, October, you are going to find many fruits. You will produce a lot of fruits in your spiritual life, in your walk with Christ. So he won't allow you. You might be fasting, but he's not going to allow you to continue to live a continued fasted life. Because he knows the results of that. He knows that once he allows you to do that, your spiritual life won't remain the same. Are you seeing that, people of God? Hunger. Hunger is essential when you fast. But understand the type of hunger you have. It's not only hunger, it must be hunger and thirst. So if you hunger and you don't eat, God shall feed you. If you thirst and you don't quench the thirst, God shall fill you. But if you thirst and quench the thirst, there's no need for God to fill you. How will God fill you if you already filled your stomach? You filled yourself. You can't say fill me up when you are filled up already. Let us understand that there's no way you will fast and not hunger and not thirst. But the moment you quench thirst, even your fasting is incomplete. How can you hunger, fast, and only feel hungry and not be thirsty? That's not fasting. Are you seeing that? That's not fasting. Hunger must go hand in hand with thirst. But many rush to take away to quench the thirst. And they don't know that they are neglecting the Father to fill them. He's supposed to fill you supernaturally. You are filling yourself naturally. I can see people are offended now because their stomach is full of water. They are offended now. How can you say like that? Why did he leave us from the first day to do that? Didn't I tell you from the first day? But you still continued. I want to show you why many people fast and don't see results. It's because of what I'm teaching today. They are not disciplined and they are not ready to sacrifice. Listen to what the Lord said to me in the morning when I was praying. He said, fasting is discipline. But he says there are people who when they are fasting, they are disciplining themselves. In their disciplining themselves, they are undisciplined. in that process of disciplining themselves, they are not disciplined. When you fast, you have to push yourself to pray. When you don't pray, it means in disciplining yourself, you are not disciplined. That's what the Father was teaching me about. He says fasting brings discipline. It humbles us. Are you seeing that? It humbles us. You have to study the word. Unfortunately, you have to. You don't need to feel like. It's not about feelings. You don't need to feel like praying. Don't wait to feel like praying. Feel like reading the word. Are you seeing this? No, I have to teach you the correct kind of fasting so that you may have results. Because I told you last week Sunday that your focus should not be to break fasting. Let your focus be on having the results. If you can fast for results, you will not be conscious about time of fasting, of breaking fasting. Why your fasting does not is because when you are fasting, you are only thinking about 6 o'clock. Every time you look at the watch and it's like it's getting closer, we start to see a smile. Because your desire is to finish. Your desire is not for results. If you desire results, even time of finishing will not bring any difference to you. You will not make any difference to you because your focus will be on results. I talked about this on Sunday. He says their desire is prayer. No, your desire must not be prayer. Your desire must be an answer from God. If your desire is an answer from God, then you will not get tired of praying. Because you are not looking for prayer, looking for an answer. But because you don't care of an answer, you are just wanting to quench. You just want to clear your conscience so that you know that you prayed. You are glued to prayer. No wonder there's no answer that is coming from above. Because your desire is only to pray. And after you pray, your heart desire is granted because you have prayed. Are you seeing this? Don't just fast. You see, some of us when we fast, I don't want to do 30 days again in this year. I don't want to find myself fasting 30, starting fresh another 30 days again. When I'm done with 30 days, I must go to another fasting. That's why when I fast, I want to fast well. I take every day. I don't look at the week. I don't take it per week. I don't take it per. Are you seeing that? I take it per day. I focus on every day because every day carries a unique assignment. So that when I finish fasting on the 30th day, when I look behind, I must see fruits. I must be able to count encounters. I must be able to open book and find pages written of information of things that God has instructed me already about. Then I can say I am done fasting. Because the purpose of fasting was not to feel hunger. Was for me to get answers from God. Was for God to direct me. Was for God to bring light into my life. Have you seen the people of God? Are we together? It must produce results. Read it.
Matthew 6, verse 6. Blessed and fortunate and happy and spiritually prosperous.
Matthew 5 verse 6,
Matthew 5 verse 6. Blessed and fortunate and happy and spiritually prosperous, in that state in which the born-again child of God enjoys his favor and salvation, are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness.
Are those who hunger and what? Hunger only. Are they only hungry? Are they only experiencing hunger? Blessed are those who hunger and thirst. It must be hunger and thirst. Are you using that? I want us to use a different translation so that we can get it. Listen to this one. It says, God blesses those people who want to obey Him more than to eat or drink. Listen to this one. God blesses those people who want to obey Him more than to eat or what? More than to eat or what? More than to eat or what? So if it's more than to eat or drink, it means when you drink, there's no longer obedience. It must be both more than eating and drinking. It must not be alone. It must not be eating only. Okay. Hear it. God blesses those people who want to obey Him more than to eat or drink. They will be given what they want. They will be given what they more than what they want. They shall be given more than what they want. Are you seeing this, people of God? You are sacrificing. Sacrificing. Don't do half sacrifice. Are you seeing that? Don't get offended. You still have enough days to change this and still see results. I wish I can start from day one. No, for what? Continue. Rectify your. I told you on Sunday that the most diligent way to progress spiritually is to rectify your wrongs quicker. You still have a chance to change the way you fast and still see results. That's how we teach you every day, every Tuesday and Thursday. God blesses those people who want to obey Him more than to eat or drink. They will be given what they want. Happy those hungering and thirsting for righteousness, because they shall be filled. This young translation, Young's literal translation. Let us hear what good news is saying. Happy are those whose greatest desire is to do what God requires. God will satisfy them fully. Are you seeing that? Wow. We really thank God. Hunger must come. If hunger does not come, there are certain things won't open in the realms of the Spirit. Especially, I'm laying a foundation. I'm going to teach about dreams and visions, encounters. Because most of encounters, okay, now I've checked all my encounters. I've been praying, asking God. I said, God, I want a physical encounter. God says it's because you don't know the way. Your problem is you are in error. You don't know the way. I said, no, there are people who in the Bible they had physical encounters. He said, go back and study your Bible well. And I realized there's no person who ever had a physical encounter. It's always a trance, a vision, or a dream. Yes. Are you seeing that? Yes. A trance, a vision, or a dream. So now I'm teaching you. I'm laying a foundation on how to activate your soul for vision, trances, and dreams from above. Fasting does that, because when you break those chains on your soul, then the soul can be able to stand in and align itself for information and instruction from above, from God. Are you seeing that? But Cornelius saw an angel. He was praying. An angel appeared to him physically. Who said it was physically? Let me show you something. God gives graces and gifts. You see, what you dream, what you see in the dream asleep, a prophet sees it awake and with his eyes open. Are you seeing that? What you see when you are sleeping, closing your eyes, dreaming, a prophet sees awake with his eyes open. That's why I told you that to be a prophet is not to prophesy people. According to the scriptures, you go to Numbers 12. God says, if there's a prophet among you, I shall visit him in visions and reveal myself. Not reveal information of people, reveal myself. If you are seeing people's information, then it's a gift of a prophet. It's not a prophet. You can have a gift of a prophet. Whoever honors a prophet receives a gift of a prophet. So a gift of a prophet is impartation. Impartation. You carry the gift, you start to see things. But as for the office, there's no impartation. It's either you are called to be a prophet or not. As for that one, are we together? People of God, God is teaching us. We must not be offended. We must come with open heart to learn. Why are we here? Are we here to correct God, or are we here to so He correct us? But the way you're quiet is like you want to correct God. So what do you mean? Huh? Come on, someone on your ring. Then you are here to correct God. You are not here to learn from Him. Are you seeing that? Okay, let us go and read about Cornelius. Acts chapter 10. Let us go and find out about Cornelius. I want to show you something. I want to show you something about Cornelius. Acts chapter 10. Talk about Cornelius and Peter. Let us look at Peter and Cornelius. Acts chapter 10. Start from verse number 1 so you can tell us about this man who is an Italian. Cornelius was an Italian man. A Gentile from Italy. Read.
Acts 10 verse 1.
Yes.
Now, living at Caesarea, there was a man whose name was Cornelius, a centurion captain of what was known as the Italian regiment, a devout man who venerated God and treated him with reverential obedience, as did all his household. And he gave much alms to the people and prayed continually to God. Verse 3. About the 9th hour, about 3 p.m. of the day.
9th hour, 3 p.m. Are you seeing it?
About the 9th hour, about 3 p.m.
Yes.
of the day, he saw clearly in a vision.
He saw what? In a what? Was he asleep? So can you call it a physical? It will still take your soul being open to visions, trances. Are you seeing that? Yes. It was 9 hours. Read there.
About the 9th hour, about 3 p.m.
About 3 p.m.
of the day, he saw clearly in a vision an angel of God entering and saying to him.
An angel of who? Where did he see this angel? Physically. He saw the angel in a vision. So if you can't see a vision, you can't see angels. Because angels don't walk on the ground. They walk in a vision. They speak in a vision. Jesus cannot come to you physically. He comes in a vision. Man of God, I saw Jesus physically. You miss. Somebody. Are you getting what I'm talking about? You can never see him physically. When even you are awake, there's a realm that Jesus will never walk on, which is the physical realm. Once he can touch the physical realm, it is the end of the world. That's why when he comes back, he's gonna touch the physical realm. And that is the time you will see. When he comes, his second coming, it will be a physical. And when he comes physically, the sun will physically disappear. The sky will physically disappear, not spiritually. The Bible says, at his appearance the sky shall flee, even the sun shall turn red. Are you seeing that? Even the sun shall turn red. It says, many shall run to the caves and say, oh, rocks fall upon us. Hide us from the one who is coming. It's a physical coming. So Jesus, if he has to come to you, it has to be in a vision or in a trance. You'll see Acts chapter 10 teaches us about vision and also trance. Because people don't know the difference between vision and trance. It's a trance. A vision, you don't see it asleep, you see it awake. A trance is the one that, you know, and you see something. That's a trance. Are you seeing that? Like yesterday, I was okay. Forget about myself. Let us read. Where are we? We are on X. We are not on Prophet Light. It was about 3 o'clock one afternoon when he had a vision in which he clearly saw an angel of God come in and say to him, Cornelius. And he stared at an angel in fear and said, oh, what is this, sir? And the angel answered, I'm surprised. How, this guy was a Gentile, but how did you know that this is an angel? Saul, Saul, who are you, Lord? Who told you that is Lord who's talking to you? It's a trance. It's a vision. If in a trance and in a vision, you don't need anyone to teach you that this is an angel, this is the devil. You know, information is given to your spirit. Are you seeing that? That's why God does not appear physical. If an angel appears physical, you will not know he's an angel. But if he appears in a vision, you will not ask, are you an angel? In the realms of the spirit, we are not taught. Information it becomes automatically applied to our spirit, given to our spirit. How? The same way Jesus says, when they take you to human court, do not plan what you shall say. When you reach there, it shall be given unto you what you say. When you are in a vision and you are in trance, you don't need anyone. Someone say, how do you know, man of God, that you are in heaven? The day I was taken to heaven, I didn't say a big billboard, welcome to heaven. It was not there. Then you know that person is lying. How do you know that heaven? Because I saw a big board that says welcome to heaven. No. Information is given to the spirit. You are caught up in the place, you are seeing strange things and you just know you are in heaven. Nobody needs to tell you, where are you? Where am I? Where? Information is given, you are in heaven. Are you seeing that? Yes. Am I boring you? Kalino Rosetekosh. Somebody is going to have a full activated life of visitations. You must have it. Are you seeing that? Yes. Yesterday I was just sitting on the sofa. I don't know. I was just relaxing. I was not praying. And one moment I was just like Zaka. And I saw my horse. I said, Horsey, where have you been? I saw my spiritual horse. And it was holding something with its mouth, preventing it from flying away. I said, what's this? He says, this is the office. And the greatest dimension of the prophetic office. I said, bring it. Bring it to me, Hosi. And within 5 seconds, I was like awake. I said, hey, where is that horse? Are you seeing that? It must be a lifestyle, this thing. Not when you are asleep and because there are things that are attached to your soul that you have not yet broken. When you're, I want to show the importance of fasting. That's why God says when you fast, break the chains of sin. These are the ones that are connecting you without your choice to the world. That's why when you sleep, you even feel like falling to the pit. You feel like a car is running over you. And it's a trance what you are having. But a wrong trance. An earthly trance. Are you seeing that, people of God? When those things happen, it's a sign that even though you are fasting, it means your soul is not yet impacted. You are not diligently striving. Striving, fighting, not pushing, fighting. Yeah, put more effort in your fasting. It means, let me tell you, praying like this is still prayer. When you pray like this, Mas, Father, thank you. Suka, but to break into the realms of the spirit, it will take you 10 years praying like this. 10 years praying like this. Quiet. He clap. It's still prayer, but 10 years to break. But there is another way to pray. When you go Ashuta Piata, you break forth in split seconds. Are you seeing that? Yes, because why? You are automatically by speed connecting your soul and your spirit to God. Are you seeing that? Have you seen when electricity is gone? I want to show you something. And you are charging your phone with an alternative. Maybe you are using the battery of a car. Do you think the phone is gonna be full quicker than when it's charged on the wall socket of electricity? Okay, maybe people don't have cars. I don't know. What should I say? When you are charging your phone with something else, then which is not electricity, what do you see happening? It takes time to get full because the power that is coming there is coming too slow. But the moment electricity comes back and you put there, because the supply is more than the demand, you can even put your hand there and feel the charger is hot to show that where this thing is drawing power from, the demand is greater than the supply is greater than what? The demand. So where am I going with this? Same way when we pray. When you pray hot prayers, even your soul becomes charged quicker. But when you pray cold prayers, your soul is getting charged but slowly. Learn to pray. Okay, someone say, but how was Jesus praying? There's one way to know how Jesus prayed. There's only one way. Studying the scripture. The Bible says, as he prayed, he began to sweat. It means it was ordinary for Jesus to sweat while he was praying. But this time, because he was praying from the depth of his soul, blood came out instead of sweat. So can you say it when you're praying like this? Father, thank you. Can sweat come out? No. I'm just showing you by Jesus. The Bible says, as he prayed, he sweat blood. To show that there was no time Jesus was praying where he didn't sweat. To show, do you know why we don't experience these things? In our prayer, we are not even focused. We fail to read even the atmosphere of devils and demons. Because anytime you are praying and your mind says check your phone, check SMS, this is a cloud. It's a web of demons that are coming to distract your prayer. Because they know the moment you pray a focused prayer, 15 minutes is too much, your spirit will be connected. And once you are connected, something will be dropped to your spirit. But Christians don't know this. You are praying 1 minute, you want to go somewhere. You come back again. You are going somewhere again. This is a disrupted prayer. You're not focusing. Are you seeing this? You are disrupted. You have to focus. You have to focus. Anytime you are praying and you touch your phone, put it away. Focus on prayer. Are you seeing that? Focus. That's why people don't see results. When they pray, they are not praying focus. That's why even their mind is thinking about Sparkle. He's thinking, it's going right now. Oh, right now. They are praying already. Their mind is thinking, when is gonna 5 come? Oh, I wish it was 2:15. Even when I break today, I don't know what I'm gonna eat. Maybe fish, or maybe I should go and buy Sparkle now and put it under the bed. And they are praying. You are not focused. Focus on what you are doing. When you pray, that's why Paul says, when I pray with my spirit, I will also pray with my mind. Because if I don't pray together with my mind will visit the world, will go to the dustbin, will go to the fridge while I'm praying. You will lock yourself in your bedroom and pray. But if you don't pray with your mind will go to the kitchen. He says, I will pray with my mind and also pray with my spirit. That's focus. These are things that we should fight. Don't just say I pray, I finish praying. Were you focused when you were praying? Did you really feel in your spirit being charged when you were praying? These are the things that should be. Time should not, hour should not be the factor. This is what the factor is. Did you feel a recharge when you were praying? Did you feel a recharge? Were you focused? What did you see? Because the moment you pray focusing, let me tell you what happens. Most of the time, this is what happens to me when I'm praying. When I pray focusedly, as I always fight to know, because there's no way I can pray not focused, because I know when I'm praying I'm focused by now. So when I pray focusedly, I know the Holy Ghost begin to take over my mind and begin to show me the kind of the life I'm supposed to live. I'll start to be imagining prosperity. I'll start to be imagining walking good health, walking closer with God, and I'm praying. I know now that the Holy Ghost has captured my mind. Because John chapter 6, it says He is the revealer of the future. It means He must show you the future. Are you seeing that? I begin to see my future. Then you know He has taken over your mind because now you are focused. And as you are speaking in tongues, you are praying according to what He's showing you. He's aligning you. That's why Romans chapter 8 says, when we do not know what we should pray for, the Spirit of God prays on our behalf, interceding according to the will of God for our lives. How do you know what I'm talking about? Has it ever happened to you what I'm talking about? When you are praying and suddenly you are seeing just success, prosperity, you see yourself making it, and you think it's your mind. It's not your mind. It's the Holy Ghost. It's called the reveal of the future. He's making you to intercede according to the plan of God for your life. But this won't happen if you are praying and you are distracted. Somebody's going to bring result this year. As I teach you like this, I said you are going to bring forth fruits. You are going to bring forth results in the name of Jesus. Are you seeing this? Go and strive. Go and strive to enter His rest. What verse are we reading now? And the angels answered, God is pleased with your prayers and works of charity, and is ready to answer you. Verse 5. And now send some men to Joppa for a certain man whose full name is Simon Peter. Okay, continue from verse 6.
Verse 6. He is lodging with Simon a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. When the angel who spoke to him had left, Cornelius called 2 of his servants and a God-fearing soldier from among his own personal attendants. And having rehearsed everything to them, he sent them to Joppa.
Now listen, verse number 9. This is Peter now. Read.
The next day, as they were still on their way, and were approaching the town,
as they were approaching Joppa,
Peter went up to the roof
of
the house to pray.
Look at me. He went to do what? What time was it? 6 hours. It was a 6 hour, which is equivalent to 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock noon. He went to pray. Even by 12, Peter had not yet eaten. Even by 12, Peter had not yet eaten. It means he was fasting. 12 fast. But I want you to see something came upon Peter before he saw a vision, because I know you know about the vision, but there's something that you've missed that Holy Ghost has sent me today to show you. I know you know this chapter, but you don't know what I'm going to show you. Read there.
The next day, as they were still on their way and were approaching the town, Peter went up to the roof of the house.
Up to the roof,
to pray. About the 6th hour. Noon. But he became very hungry.
He became what? It's a setup already. The moment he became very hungry, it's a sign. He's about to be filled. He's about to hear from God. You don't hear about anything about hunger here. I told you that there are different types of hunger. The hunger Peter felt here, it was a different type of hunger. How do we know? It was what happened after he felt that hunger. What happened after he felt that hunger? That hunger opened the spirit of Peter. He felt very hungry. You know, when you fast sometimes, there is this hunger that comes so strong. It's not a normal hunger for food. It's an opening up of the spirit. It's the increasing of the capacity of your spirit, man. Repeat there, you will see.
But he became very hungry.
He became very hungry,
and wanted something to eat.
And wanted something to what? Do you see temptation is there to eat? Anytime the devil sees that hunger coming too much, he will want to come to disrupt and make you to want to eat. Because the moment you eat, you take away that thing. You think you are removing the hunger. You are not removing the hunger. You are removing what the hunger was going to bring. Because Matthew 5 verse 6, blessed are those who hunger and thirst, because they shall be filled. So the moment the hunger comes, a feeling is about to happen. There's a hunger that has to come when you fast. And when that hunger comes, it's greater than the hunger for food. That hunger you will feel when you are fasting. That's why many people are afraid of fasting. Because the hunger of fasting is greater and stronger than the hunger of when you're not fasting. When it comes so strong, powerful. Because why? It's not for food, it's an opening up. It's an opening up. It is to stretch your spirit, man. It is to stretch your spirit, man. Read.
But he became very hungry and wanted something to eat. And while the meal was being prepared, a trance came over him.
What came over him? A vision? A dream? A trance? Are you seeing that? And what happened?
And he saw the sky opened and something like a great sheet lowered by the four corners, descending to the earth.
So a trance. I thought about this. Go and get that message that I taught on the prophetic high place conference, the prophetic night, when I said the title of the DVD is titled Interpretations Belongs to God. I taught about the difference between a dream, a trance, and a vision. Read. Repeat there.
And he saw the sky opened and something like a great sheet.
But what caused him to have a trance? It was that great hunger. That great hunger. It was not just a hunger. It was a feeling. It was a carrier of a message. It was an unction that was bringing answer.